My name is Paul Rackstraw and I'm the Managing Director of Futuregrowth Asset Management.
My name is Masiabi Marageni. I'm the Head of Business Development at Futuregrowth Asset Management.
I'm Kaya Gobodo, the Managing Director of Old Mutual Investments, and have the incredible privilege of being the Chair of Futuregrowth.
My name is Cindy Mabaso-Koyana. I'm the Chairperson of AWCA Investment Holdings.
We're celebrating 18 months of hard work. In fact, actually longer than 18 months, because getting to the stage of this partnership has probably taken years to get to this stage. And we're very excited today. We actually signed whereby Old Mutual will be selling a portion of their share in Futuregrowth to AIH.
Old Mutual Investments, and indeed the greater Old Mutual, supported this transaction, given how important it is. We take our role as a responsible business extraordinarily seriously, and driving transformation and BEE in general is an inextricable part of that obligation and that responsibility. So when Futuregrowth clients rightfully started to agitate about change in the industry, the progress they wanted to see about the ownership patterns of the fund managers they entrust their capital with, we listened and we responded. So in long conversations between Futuregrowth and ourselves, it became clear that there was something we need to do. Especially considering that we are constructive and supporting shareholder partners of Futuregrowth, supporting them in this journey was absolutely obvious and clear to us.
So from a client perspective, if I think of this deal, I really don't want to look at it so much from a client perspective. Ultimately, we are aligned to our clients, but we have been on this journey because we think that it is a South African imperative for us to actually be transformed. If you look at Futuregrowth as an asset management company, we manage money on behalf of our clients. So our fiduciary duty is to make sure that we provide the right products for our clients, we protect their assets, and we make sure that we grow their assets over time. And in this journey, that's what Futuregrowth has been always trying to do. If you look at our product base, we've got a very diverse product base. And in fact, if you look at our community property fund, we invested in rural communities where our clients are. We've been actually running developmental funds for over 26 years now. So that alignment really does come through there. And not only that, from a staff complement perspective, Futuregrowth has made a policy to actually only recruit PDI staff. If you look at our staff complement, 84% of our staff is actually PDI. And in fact, about 64% of those is predominantly Black staff. So you can see from there, the journey has afforded us an opportunity to transform our organization. And in fact, people don't know, but Futuregrowth back in the days, 2003, circa 2005, used to be predominantly owned by Wiphold. Before they were spun off, Gloria Serobe used to pay Paul and Andrew's salaries and determine their bonuses. So we're just really going back to the basics in terms of our aspirations here. And from a leadership perspective, I'm sure people always wonder, and our clients have asked us, what is happening? Paul and Andrew are still there in leadership positions. And I think that's right to ask that question. But, we have put in place training programs that will ensure that this transformation is going to be sustainable. As it is, I'm head of business development. We've got people like Stembiso Garani, who's a head of credit within Futuregrowth. We've actually implemented a graduate accelerated program where we pick up permanent staff members, and those who are interested in investments, we've taken them through a portfolio management program. And through that program, we've had 4 people being appointed as portfolio managers. If you look at our female complement, which is very much in alignment to AIH, is that 64% of our staff members are actually female. So that is positive for us, and that is exciting for us because it means that this shareholder that we are on a journey with is very much in alignment to what we believe.
If you think about transformation, it's been a conversation in South Africa for a long time. So why is this particular conversation important to the asset management industry? One's got to consider that we are fiduciary holders of other people's money, hard-earned money if you really think about it. And the savers in our country are a broad cross-section of the average South African by race, by gender, by social standing. And people increasingly want to know that the people that they entrust with their money look like them, believe the things that they believe broadly. And so it's obvious that our clients want to see that the people who benefit from the income that's generated from the allocation of their capital begins to flow into places where they come from. And so this is our contribution to rightful and long-awaited change in our industry. And it always shocks me how unresponsive the industry has been. I mean, it's shocking given that they're merely custodians of other people's money. And this is us being responsive to drive change in the industry.
Well, Futuregrowth as a business, our sole fiduciary duty is to look after monies of millions of South Africans. If we don't look after that money well, we don't have a business. So transformation becomes a non-entity.
AIH is a group of Black women chartered accountants, all professional, finance-focused people working across many different industries. The really exciting thing about AIH is not only their shareholders, but also the fact that they support the studying of numerous Black women professionals who are studying to become chartered accountants. And in our industry, in finance, that's absolutely critical. So it's fantastic that it's not only a supportive shareholder, but it's somebody that's actually making a difference in the finance field in terms of increasing the pool of Black women chartered accountants in the country.
We decided to partner with AIH because we wanted to do something fundamentally different. We wanted a break from the past. We wanted something that was sustainable and reflected kind of real change. And if you think about who Futuregrowth is, Futuregrowth stands for creating value for clients in a way that generates long-lasting, deep impact in the country. I mean, there's enormous evidence of that from a Futuregrowth point of view, both in terms of the stands that they've taken publicly to defend, savers, as well as if you look at the nature of investments that they lead in, impact investing. So choosing a partner that had a similar set of values that would have a similar kind of level of impact was crucial. And African women chartered accountants was an obvious partner if you have that kind of lens and orientation. These are people who stand for uplifting, supporting, and promoting, Black women and the Black child, right? To take their rightful place, their rightful role in this country. And it's only when that happens that we begin to live in a world and in a society that's genuinely transformed and genuinely sustainable. And I'll add, maybe I've got a soft spot because my mother happened to be the first Black female chartered accountant in the country. And I see the kind of inspiration that generated in many young women who eventually became CAs and business leaders in our country.
I had the pleasure of founding AWCA, which was a women's organization to develop young women in becoming chartered accountants. We formed the investment arm in 2008, where we've got 53 Black women CAs who are shareholders of the organization. Our purpose is to uplift women through the investment choices that we make. One of our sectors that we invest in is financial services. Reason being, we found that for financial inclusivity, this will be one industry that allows economic empowerment for our women, not only as shareholders, but it allows an opportunity for the skills development, for us working hand in hand with these institutions on the development of talent that can also be absorbed as part of management in the financial services sector. Having seen how underrepresented women are, this was one area we realized will have an impact given our skills focus as AWCA.
I'll tell you a little bit of a story about myself and why I entered the financial services sector, okay? I come from Kroonstad and I was in the Vaal, and my father had a business going and he had a bit of money and he lost everything. And I was that girl that used to sit outside the classroom because I didn't pay my school fees. And that's where my passion for actually getting into the financial services sector came from, because I always had this concept of saving money and seeing money grow so that I don't have to allow my kids or even myself to go through a similar situation. So seeing women in the financial services sector come up and, assert themselves and, participate as leaders is really a profound thing to witness. And not only that, in its own authenticity, to see that they aligned to the values of Futuregrowth. Futuregrowth has been in the industry for 26 years. They've developed funds looking at rural areas and making sure that the rural areas actually improved. So for me to see that alignment of these women who are saying, we are leaders in our own right, and Futuregrowth saying, absolutely, we know you, we recognize you, we operate in the same spaces that you are passionate about, makes this deal so authentic. It gives hope to every woman out there to know that you too can make it, and you should strive for your excellence and claim your place in the world.
We were very excited to be approached for the process of the BE partner of Futuregrowth, because this is one asset manager which I've observed for years that has been doing developmental investing, responsible investing, and impact investing long before it became fashionable. Today, when everybody talks about ESG, you realize that Futuregrowth has been doing it before it was fashionable because they believed in it. We all have heard the newly coined term of the township economy over the last few years, but Futuregrowth has gone into townships, rural areas, remote areas, and invest and be visible on the ground in demonstrating their commitment of doing the right thing in this country. They are very passionate about what they do, very patriotic about this country, who have been visible when leaders needed to step forward in the building of this country. That has resonated very well with us. We also realized that there was a very strong values alignment. This was one investment we felt would help us achieve our purpose.
The deal is really important for Futuregrowth, I think, for a number of reasons. The one was, in our early years, we were fully empowered from a shareholding perspective with Wiphold. And over those years, we saw the benefit of having a strong empowerment group, having a shareholder in the business, somebody who's passionate about your business, and somebody who brings a different perspective to and challenges management and the organization around the way we do things. And we lost that when Wiphold became Old Mutual's empowerment partner in 2008. And it's something we've always aspired to. We've continued with our transformation journey internally, but we've been missing it at a shareholder level. And that's why this is so exciting. We've got a party who, it's a material transaction for them. They're very, very aligned with the industry that we're in as well. And they also have a bigger purpose. And that's been part of Futuregrowth, over the years of transformation, developmental, actually making a difference to people's lives and running a business with a strong ethical background. And that's what we found in AIH, which makes it so exciting for us. So AIH are acquiring 21.2% of the business. And that together with our other shareholding and staff shareholding in the business moves us strongly towards our goal of achieving greater than 50% Black shareholding in the business.
For AIH, what we realized again will allow us to add value in Futuregrowth's objectives is working with them as we look at growing assets that are under management. It is very important in this country, whether it is public sector or private sector, that fund managers demonstrate their own commitment to the objectives of this country. And that is an area where most of our members actually understand, because this finance is their training. We also see an alignment in one of the shareholders of Futuregrowth being the Imfundo Trust, which is about education. And that again goes to the core of how we founded ourselves as AWCA, going back to schools and ensuring that Black women were educated in skills that originally were not popular in our communities. So through Imfundo Trust, we see working together with AWCA, which is on the ground in terms of skills development. So we see an alignment there, especially from the pipeline development. So that for us is one area that we will definitely roll our sleeves in working with Futuregrowth. Futuregrowth has demonstrated their commitment to transformation and bringing up young talent into the organization. With Andrew and Paul having been in this organization for quite a while now, it demonstrates stability. We will also like to work with them in making sure that the younger generation that is coming through, we are partners in that journey.